Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. Your arborist, your certified arborist and minister.
Oh, I'm Minister. Okay, Minister Mardy Ringer. That is I. That is
Minister
me.
Mardy Ringer, also known as Marty McFly.
Yes.
But the reason why I say Minister Mardy Ringer is to bring up kind of what we were getting ready to allude to in the last segment was your segment in your sermon called Gracism. I just thought that was so powerful.
Yeah, well, and let me be clear. The overall series is called Gracism. Mm-hmm. A gentleman named David Anderson wrote a book on Gracism. You know, he was a black pastor going to a church in Chicago for his first day,
right.
And he got stopped 4 times that day.
Yes.
So they was doing a series of that, and the part that I brought into was the arc, but I think I've talked about that on the show before about
awareness, relationship.
Yeah, awareness, relationship, and commitment. You know, and then also the C is kind of like a favorite song that I like right now from the Beatles. You know, come together. Right now. Well, that ain't our gift, so. But you know, really, but really, it's about us coming together, trying to be committed to making change. You know, and not just talk about it. You know, and not being like who I really am. And see, Doni, I got to be honest with you. And I know I'm not by myself.
Okay, talk to me.
But I'm a closet activist, or. How can I say?
Come out, dude.
A homebody activist.
Oh, okay, got it.
You know, in a sense, it's like this.
You do the thumb thing.
No, I don't even do the thumb thing.
What do you do?
I get mad, I get frustrated, and I sit on my couch and turn the volume up and watch.
And you're saying, let's get out of there. Let's get out of there.
Right, because that's what I do. You know, and a lot of us, we've seen these protests like all last year, and we talked about that. We've seen the protests, and I'm looking at myself because I will get upset, but I'm not going to really, I haven't been jumping out there really trying to make change.
Yeah.
You know, or I see something that is wrong and I just, that ain't right. But I'm not going to say nothing, do anything. It's like, I'm going to stay in the safe zone. And I think we have to kind of, and I'm just speaking to myself.
Yeah.
You know, so I always like to be straight honest. I won't tell you something that I'm, not doing, because you should do this.
Right.
I'm really, in a sense.
You're being transparent and saying you are one of those people that gets upset. But you went to a march, you said, about a week ago.
Well, I deal with this other symptom called nobacy. You know, it's a symptom that a lot of us have that we don't really go to the hospital or go to places and get it treated. Nobacy.
What is nob? I thought you were being funny. What is it?
Nobacy is when you have a plan and you want to do something and you say, nobacy, tomorrow will be better. You know? Because I was going to go, but nah. See, it was raining that day, and I just can't do it. You know, so I struggle with that. I struggle with that. A lot of people struggle with that.
Nobacy.
Yeah, nobacy. What had happened was, we should have did it, but we're going to do that tomorrow. So yeah, I had planned on going, but see, it was sprinkling.
Well, going back to what you were saying, oh my God, Gracism. We were talking about like stuff, like a lot of times we'll do these segments, but then we'll talk about certain things behind the scenes. Yeah. That we got to start telling the truth about all of it.
Oh yeah.
And these are the conversations that people don't want to have.
Yeah.
Meaning, there is a certain level of decorum that we should have, regardless of what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's with the police, whether it's at a grocery store, whether it's at Chick-fil-A, whether it's at the school, there's a certain level of decorum.
Yeah.
I was not allowed to act a certain way with my grandmother.
Oh yeah.
Now with my mama, I could act a fool. You know, my mom's a little ghetto. So I got a little ghetto in me, but I also got my grandma in me. My grandma was a very classy lady, and she wouldn't let me talk and act a certain way.
That's a good thing.
And so I learned certain things. My dad, I know y'all heard I got issues with him,
we ain't gonna talk about that.
But my dad was extremely charismatic, extremely charming, and I guess he always, whenever he found himself in tough situations, especially when dealing with law enforcement, instead of fighting his way out of it, which back then there was no fighting, I mean, he had just been dead. Yeah. But he tried to be as respectful as he could, even when he knew they were in the wrong. Oh yeah. And I can't tell you, now don't do this, y'all.
That's some gracism.
I'm just telling you, don't do this, what I'm getting ready to tell you. My dad would drive for years with expired tags on his vehicles. he would go get a tag and then use that tag on different trucks. Like he would take it off of one truck.
That was a different time.
That was a different time. He would get stopped by the police and they would call him out on his tag. But because he was so respectful, in their mind, they saw a black man in a truck working, tree debris on the back. And they were like, well, you know, you're trying to make a living. And that's what he would tell him. He would say, I'm so sorry, officer. I guess I got mixed up. I messed up and I'm just trying to take care of my family. I cannot tell you how many times I was in the driver, in a passenger seat sitting there going, I can't believe you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, or he'd come home and tell us that he got stopped by the police.
And being honest, the way that you approach a situation has a big impact on the outcome of the situation.
Right.
You know, if you're in a store and you suspect somebody's following you.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of us as African Americans do that.
I get followed.
You can easily turn around.
And I'm black.
You can eat and we talked about this last week. Sometimes people ain't really paying attention to you.
That is so true.
You know,
that's true.
They're really not paying attention to you, and it's like, why you following me? I know you looking at me. I ain't gonna steal nothing. And they're like,
there was an officer. Okay. There was a police officer that was off duty, meaning they had already they still had their uniform on, but they weren't at work.
Right.
I'm in the CVS. I'm walking around the CVS. I see the police officer come in. I go down one aisle. They're on the other side on the aisle. I go to the back of the store. I can see him 3 rows over in the back of the store. So I start playing this story in my mind.
Oh, they watching.
They watching me, and it's because the white lady in the front called her as soon as I walked in.
Yeah.
And she's walking slow at this point. Police lady walking slow. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I got jokes. So I said, I'm just gonna confront the issue myself.
Oh yeah.
Let them know I am not a thief. So I get my little vitamins, I get my little whatever else I was getting, and I walk over to where the police lady was. She had a 2-year-old walking next to her.
Yeah.
So she was walking slow
with her 2-year-old.
Just kind of ain't paying attention to
you.
Ain't thinking about me.
And the cop is like, I'm off work too.
I didn't even say. I just said hello and kept walking.
And kept going, right? But in your mind, and I think we do this all the time. We think we are more than what we are. That everybody, as soon as I walk in,
somebody.
All eyes are on me. Y'all are looking at me, aren't you? Yeah, you think I'm gonna steal something? Well, no, that's probably more.
That's more, That's true.
Something on you.
Yeah.
And really.
Yeah.
If you ain't planning on stealing nothing.
Why
are you concerned?
Well, my daughter did that yesterday. I mean, she didn't steal. No, she didn't steal. I was sitting in a car and a song came on, and then you know how in radio your song comes on and it plays all the way through and then it fades out, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was feeling this old school R&B song, right? I pull up to the house and they cut into the song, like the whoever was doing the thing cut into the song, and I went like that, like what? Like that, because I was listening to it. My daughter looks at me and she goes, "What did I do?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Why are you looking at me like that?" And I was like, "I'm not looking at you. They just cut my song off early," and I just kind of was like that. So I'm not looking at you. It just so happens that my face was going that way.
Well, no, as a pastor, trust me, I deal with that all the time because I'm real. My expression's a lot on my face.
Yeah.
And I have to be cautious because I will have something else in my mind.
Yeah.
And look at somebody in the audience and they're like, "Why is he so upset with me? What did I do?" Is pastor upset? And I'm like, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about you.
You're right.
My mind is somewhere else, But it's like a lot of us are so sensitive and think that we have a bullet on our back or a target on our back that even like we get pulled over. Why are you pulling me over? You think I'm a drug dealer?
Right.
Hold on. No. I didn't even see you was speeding. Or your tag is expired. It's not about I don't even know what color you are until I get up there.
Yeah.
Certain things, but we tend to do that all the time.
Yeah.
They don't like me because I'm black. No, you might have just a bad
I have a
attitude.
friend of mine that's a pastor. It ain't you.
Good.
But he's actually he's a customer. He said that the same thing happens to him when he's on the stage. He's just, connecting with people, but he's actually not really looking specifically at a person. He's just doing his sermon. He did a sermon on sin. He said he had 2 separate people come up to him and say, listen, I don't know how you knew. I know I should get my life right and get it
right.
He's like, I didn't even know what they were talking about.
I had no clue.
They over there confessing.
You know you're a religious freak. Now, I can't look at nobody if I say that because they're like, you talking about me, Pat?
Right.
What did they tell you about me last night? Like, oh, no, I'm just talking in general. And that's one of the hard things. If you talk about alcoholism or anything, you can't look at nobody. Because they're like, he talking about me. How you going to put my business out there? I ain't talking about you.
Right.
I didn't know what you did last night.
But going back to gracism.
Yeah, but going back to that, it's a thing when you're dealing with stuff like that. When you're dealing with stuff like that, you have to really take the irritation off.
Yeah.
Take the irritation off, and in a sense, realize that the other person isn't paying attention to you as much as you think they are.
And even if they are, if you can't do nothing about it at that point, just let it ride. But speaking of talking about somebody, we're gonna talk about some trees, aren't we?
We are. We're about to go talk about some trees with Don's Tree Service.
Yeah. Don's Tree Service.
Right, Don's Tree Service. So we're gonna actually get up because I got some stuff out here that I really don't know if it's dead, alive. It's like a marriage. I don't know if it's dead, alive, if it's just got some disease in it that need to be, so I really want to get your thoughts on it because since we're opening up, I don't want no tree limb to fall on some old lady.
Right? Exactly.
And because we ain't got.
They're gonna be suing you. But no, seriously, guys, if you do have trees in your yard, I know those of you that are in Atlanta, y'all call me, Doni the Tree Lady, 770-413-8733. But if you're in one of the other cities where we do work, I suggest you reach out to a company that has a certified arborist on staff, that are licensed and insured, and also are reputable and will take care of you.
And it's important to be licensed and insured.
Yeah. And the other thing is that if you do have some questions about your trees, to actually get proper advice from the people that know. So if you start seeing dead limbs, you start seeing mushrooms at the base, the crown of your trees start thinning, you start seeing cavities at the base, those are clear indicators that you need to start doing something about your trees and call a professional.
And just FYI, if you get someone to come out there and do your trees and they pull up in a Honda Civic, and just have a chainsaw in the back, you might want to say, no, you ain't the one.
You ain't the one.
If you say, can you look at my tree? Yeah, I can cut it. That might not be the one. If you say, is this a dogwood or maple leaf? I don't know, but I can cut it.
That might not be the one.
So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to look at some trees and we'll be right back.
Can you pass a drug test? When?
Well, we ain't going to go there. No, they might. Those might climb up to the top of the tree and cut it with no problem. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Doni Jones Live. I got 3 different things going on, but you're listening to Doni Jones Live with Doni the Tree Lady and me, Marty McFly. Okay, I'm going to get some water.